That's a semi-compelling angle. Photography trucker is back, in case anyone was curious. Oh, blow off, it's a beautiful view. Hello, Internet, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. So, we're here in this scrapyard in Fort Collins, Colorado, I believe? Pretty sure. The map will tell us, yes, Fort Collins. So, today's exciting. We are going to be driving through the mountains. And I do believe I have a job lined up that'll take us properly through the mountains on actual mountainy things. I'm talking this thing. Which, excitingly for me, I also drove up this road in my time in Colorado fairly recently. So I will be able to accurately describe what it is like driving through this area. And I'm also vaguely curious because there's a couple stops along the way that I may recognize if they put them in. They may not have. But yeah, so if we go to our freight market, click on Fort Collins so it shows us only things that are here. So let's see, it's on the second page. This tractor seems nice. Not super heavy, but a little heavy, and you know, seems like something fun to try and haul over a mountain. So, it is here. It is going to Vernal, Utah, which is just across the border. So, that'll get us, if we ignore the, if we don't ignore the fact that we did poke into Idaho early on when we were just doing odd jobs to get our own truck earned, technically Utah is the last state we have to visit. Wyoming is up here. I don't own Wyoming, and so, which is an odd thing to say, so we won't be going to Wyoming. It's there, I'm sure it's lovely. It's also rectangular, always exciting. So, yeah, we'll be pretty darn close. So, our overall goal is to get back up through Idaho and then back to Seattle eventually, which is coming very soon. But our first step is to get through the mountains and into Utah. So, now this is at Bushnell, which, if I scout it out correctly, is up here. Now, I don't know which Bushnell it is. We'll poke in maybe this first one first. They're both pretty close. And yeah, that should work. So, back into the cab, take off the brake. Should have fuel aplenty. Let's get moving. Now, the benefit of this job, it's not horribly far as the crow flies. Yeah, there's room. Which should mean we can actually make it. So my concern is going up the mountains is probably going to be pretty slow. I don't know what this traffic line is, but I'm sure they're all going somewhere. My turn is left, so... Oh boy, there is a line. Jeez, maybe it's a holiday weekend. Or just a very long light. Come on, folks, you can do it. Oh boy. They really don't like it. Come on. Speed limit's 45, you can do more than... Oh, it's because there's a merge, I see. Well, this is our stop, when in fact, that dead ahead looks like our tractor. So we chose correctly. Hello, I'm here for a tractor. Yep, to Vernal, Utah. Perfect. We will take it. And then we will take it. Some sort of stockyard, I suppose. Oh yeah, there was a horse just there. That's exciting. Clunk. T. The engine is still running this time. Let's look at our map. Okay. So we're here. We basically go... I'd love if there were like a middle zoom between these two zooming options. But yeah, so basically we just take this road right through town, hang ourselves a right, climb up through the mountains on US 34. We'll hit this little intersection with US 40. And then we want to keep going 40 back west. We'll go through Steamboat Springs, which seems lovely. Then past Rangley into Vernal. And it looks like our destination is right off to the left once we get there. So basically we want to take US 34, hang a right, and then take US 40. That should be pretty easy. We're getting good at this. Okay, trailer attached, trailer attached. Off we go. Now, anyone? Nah, no one coming. We'll go ahead and get right, because I think it was 2 lanes the whole way through town. If not, we'll find out. That's another thing I'm noticing that's slightly incorrect, and it could be a facet of just the assets they had available. But when I was in Colorado, the only trees I noticed growing were these really tall, thin pine trees with almost red trunks. So things like this tree, that doesn't look right. It was either, or it was the thin red ones, and they also had, I think, aspen trees, which are sort of white and have almost sort of black liney bits on them. I know a lot about trees if you couldn't tell. But yeah, these tree fellas that they've got around here do not look like the trees I saw. That could well just be that these are the trees, you know, these are the tree models they had available, and so they just popped them in. Our way. That was probably a loan. So, you know, that's fine if that's the case, but it is a little bit of a bummer to see it not being quite accurate. That's a light. There's a hot dog over there. Yeah. I also don't remember sunflowers, but again, I don't think we were in sunflower time. Trains coming. I don't know, this must be a... Ooh, I might be... Okay. For a second I was worried I'd be stopped on the tracks. That always goes well for... Whoopsie. Well for trucks. Yeah. There don't seem to be that many trains on these sort of side junction-y bits. There's just the one that was running kind of off to the side over there. Which may be partially, you know, so they don't have to actually have the crossings working and calculate all that. In real life, there are a lot of places where the crossing is just kind of there because it's there. It's not actually used very often. Be like one industrial train comes through at midnight. T-shirts, 4 for $19.99. Actually, that's kind of funny. I remember seeing a sign like that when I was there. It was one of those, you know, they had a folding table set up outside the shop with a whole bunch of shirts on it. Ooh. Maybe that's a common thing in the land of Colorado. Traffic's also common, apparently. Hey, vey. Oh, and the brake is doing its thing. Luckily, I know what that means now, so I just kind of set the engine to refill itself. Yeah. I guess that's why you always see trucks, yeah, they don't inch forward and then stop again. They'll just sit there for a while in traffic. Because they can't inch forward and stop. After a certain amount, they just kind of die. Okay, that car stopped. Don't know what this building to the right is. Ooh. Off we go. Yeah, this looks fancy. Some sort of library or museum, maybe. Oh, there was a sign on it, but I couldn't quite read it. And there was a delivery truck. Yeah, nice place, Colorado. One thing you don't get, and I guess the benefit of driving a semi-truck is you probably wouldn't notice it as much. It is really notable, the altitude change. You wouldn't think it, you know, you may hear some of it, you wouldn't think it's all that noticeable, because people live there, so it can't be that bad. But it's a very notable, oh, there's not as much oxygen here. You get out of breath way quicker. And the interesting inverse, and I have no proof of this aside from anecdotal evidence, coming back to an altitude that is more common, I feel like it's not super noticeable, the increase in oxygen saturation, but I do think it has helped me sleep a lot more. Just, lying there and breathing. Because that's one of the things oxygen does to you is higher saturations of oxygen can make you sleepy. I don't know why that is. It just kind of seems to happen. But I've been really struggling to wake up on time. I'll sleep in a bit. Part of it I've just, claimed that it's me recovering from a journey, but I do wonder if some of it is the exhaustion or the influx of oxygen into my body. Ooh, this is a little narrow. Yeah. It's an interesting experience. Now, the biggest thing that's noticeable, though, is the water in the atmosphere, because in Colorado and up that, I don't know if it's just up that high or partially just geographically, but it is very dry. Ooh, here we go into mountains. And this is looking somewhat more, yeah. Though, these houses actually look shockingly like what the houses on the road look. In fact, yeah, I saw that place. That building we just passed was on the road. This was here? Wow. Okay, this part at least is quite accurate. It's a little more brown in this iteration than I remember. There was a little bit of greenery. But this so far feels pretty darn accurate. That's kind of creepy. What was I saying? Something about oxygen. I don't remember. Or no, the moisture. It's much drier in Colorado. So the, you kind of, you know, my lips don't get shut. Oh, well, it's different here. So that building, I'm just going to be jumping from place to place. That is a little shop that sells cherries. I forget what it's called, but it sells all manner of cherry-based substances. This wasn't here. Hold on. How have I ended up in Rocky Mountain National Park? This was a slight creative liberty. This does look like the gatehouse to Rocky Mountain National Park. Coming out of the town of Estes Park, which I guess has been removed, but I'm through traffic. I don't think they let semi-trucks in the park normally. That's a little odd. An interesting addition, though. But yeah, that little building back there sold all kinds of cherry-based concoctions. It was very nice. Oh, and actually, so those are the aspen trees, and you can see these thin pine trees. That looks pretty accurate. Again, I don't think you normally... There isn't really through traffic in the national park, but there's also, I guess, a town here normally. I guess they wanted to capture some of the natural beauty of it, though. In fact, scenic overlook. Yep, this is... I'm gonna pull off here and block oncoming traffic. This at least represents the Rocky Mountain, or the mini park's scenic overlook. I have photos of me on that rock where those two people are. I may not actually, but I saw that rock. That rock is there. I do have photos on that curved bit looking out. That's cool. I like that they put that detail in. How do you take... I don't remember screenshots. I probably don't want the saving logo. That's real neat. Here, let's pull forward a bit. I want to see if I can get one with the truck kind of overlooking. I want to see if the overlook here actually looks correct. So I guess the road... I guess we've ended up on 40 now? It's hard to know. Nope, those are mirrors. No, the overlook's not quite right. Can I get a good... That's a semi-compelling angle. Photography trucker is back, in case anyone was curious. Oh, blow off, it's a beautiful view. But yeah, that's not quite right. There are not as many trees in there, normally. That's neat. So, yeah, that's the speed limit's 35. This must be US 40, is what they're claiming. Because I think this was the US 40 route. Goes through the park, maybe? So maybe there is through traffic. At that parking lot, and in fact, these gates, those were closed when we were there, because there's still snow on the mountains. In... What month is it? May. So, yeah. we're now in new territory I've never seen before. That was kind of fun. That's part of... So a little behind the scenes. I thought about recording these episodes before I left on my trip. I had some time, and I thought, you know, it would be good to get some recording out of the way so that I don't have to do it later. Because I'm doing the last episode of this aired, I now have to record these so that I have a next episode type of deal. The last episode you saw was the next episode. But I thought about it, and I thought it could be kind of fun because I can talk about plans. But then I thought, no, it'll be better if I've actually been there and can have experiences like I just had. I can say, wow, I've been here. Ooh, now that's pretty. I should look at the road a little bit, but look at that. Ooh, excuse me, scenic overlook. Yeah, I wanted to be able to be like, yeah, I have seen these things, this is accurate or not. And I think I made the right choice, because it's much cooler having seen something in real life and being able to be like, oh yeah, that's what it is. There are also a lot of overlooks, which makes sense. I wonder what that is. Some sort of... Actually, we'll be there soon. Some sort of stop. And I guess I'd assume that this part is somewhat accurate to what the park road is as well. My guess is they just took that. Yeah, it says we're still in US 34, which I don't think that was the highway, but it could have been. I'd have to look at a real map to be able to identify that, but yeah, my guess is they just drove out the Parkway Road and kind of merged all that together. Oh, I'm not going that speedy. They're fine. But, sorry, what was I saying? I got a ticket and got distracted. Oh yeah. I assume that this is all pretty accurate as well. This does look kind of like what it looks like coming out of the tree line. You're just in bare bushes. Now, unfortunately, this is all 35, which means I'm gonna have to use my brakes to get down it. Wasn't actually that hard of a climb, I'll be honest. I was too distracted looking at things to pay attention, and I guess the speed limit of 35 is probably, it makes it fairly doable. Now, I can't remember some of the route up into the mountains. I don't think the main roads up were, 35. I think they were faster. Now, that could have just been what my friend was driving was faster. I wasn't really paying attention, but the park roads I do remember were... In fact, I think the park roads were 25 mostly. Maybe this one was 35 though. Oh yeah. This is fun and curvy. I guess. So, obviously I did not drive, or was not driving around in anything, semi-truck sized. But there were definitely people in, oops, gave it a little too much brake. There were definitely people in RVs and whatnot, and for them, this is probably pretty similar to this experience. 45, perfect. Guess we're coming out of the park now. But, yeah, because it worked pretty well in small cars and SUVs, but I could imagine a large vehicle, you're kind of more wary because they are tight curves and Not horribly narrow roads, but not insanely open either. Yep, this is exiting the park. Come on, I was barely going over. Starting car, I may pull over and the cop pass. Because there's a, can't see him right now, but the vehicle directly behind me. We're probably coming up towards a, branch off though, if I recall. 40 we can do. Maybe, who knows. Grand Lake city limits. Yeah, now this is beyond where we were. Yeah, and I don't think so. When we were up in the mountains, me and my group, we stayed in a town called Estes Park, which is notably the site of the hotel, the Stanley Hotel, that inspired the book The Shining. I think. I can't remember now. Inspired a Stephen King horror book, allegedly haunted. I didn't meet any ghosts when I was there, so who's to say? They couldn't just been shy. But I don't believe that was... I think that was probably actually a separate town that's further along the road. That little place we just passed. Because the place we stayed was on the other side of the Rocky Mountain National Park. Here's a split off. It goes down to 35, so I've got to slam on the brakes. And then branch. And it looks clear, so away we go. Now hopefully the police car has gone elsewhere. Yes. And it's also back up to 60, which is about the speed I can get to anyway. That may have been a silly downshift, but I'll assume it wasn't. Now we'll shift up. Yeah. Now this looks about like what I remember. Kind of down out of the mountain. Though now we're kind of in the middle of mountains, so this is somewhere I did not get to. I imagine it's just like the each end, except there are mountains on each side of you instead of just one. There's some forest up ahead. Yeah, honestly, not as bad. I do wonder if that is partially intentional. They didn't want to actually make, you know, it's a game about driving trucks, and as much fun as having to drive a truck up a mountain and deal with that situation is, it's probably not actually all that fun. So it makes, I wonder if they toned down the mountain climbing and some of the actual difficulty of it a bit to make it still a bit of a challenge, but more enjoyable for the player as opposed to just difficult. Watch for wildlife. I will. So yeah, that could explain a little bit of not only the relative ease with which we got up that hill, but also the fact that the mountains don't look nearly as high and dramatic as they do in real life, because they actually aren't. I don't quite get, I guess they have weaker, smaller trucks than I. Now these fellas are going slow. That's part of it too. Had I started here with like the initial super dinky truck and tried to drive up a hill, I probably would have had a lot more of a struggle. Whereas with this thing, I've upgraded it such that it's able to do many things, including, I believe, upgrading it to make it better viable for hills and climbing. We've also not got a hugely heavy load. What's this sign? I couldn't tell. Something about a something. Truck shoes, low gear, steep grade. Ah, we are going down. And there's a runaway truck ramp. That's something I unfortunately didn't get to see because we didn't really, the roads on the mountains we were driving were relatively slow, small roads. I did not see an actual real-life runaway truck ramp. But I do know they exist. And there could have well been one around, I just didn't notice it because there was so much mountain to look at. No, it's not all that bad. And again, I do wonder if they, the balancing of the game makes it such that really, unless you really do something silly, you're probably never going to be using the truck ramp anyway. Oh. Steamboat Springs. Lovely. Now, if I'm right, I just blow right through here. There's a Walbert. And a truck that's not 100% out of the way. I think I can squeeze around. Yeah. Waffletopia. This is a lovely little place. Oh. Woohoo, good thing the brakes work. That is always the, I think that it may be a slight lag hitch, but there'll be times when you hit the brakes and you feel like, oh, these aren't doing, the vehicle does not stop at all. That may just be how air brakes work, I don't know. Probably is, because, there's air involved, so it has to smush around. It is a little unnerving when you're like, slow down, the truck still feels like it's accelerating towards the thing you're trying to slow down for. Gives you a good appreciation for people who drive them every day, and probably have to account for such things as you zip around them on the highways. This is a lovely little old town looking area. Kinda wish that fella had pulled forward a little bit, but here we are. Hopefully they get a light. Do I could use some gas, but I think I'll make it to the next spot. It'll be a pain to get over there to that. Yeah, this is a fancy. I mean, it all looks a little bit touristy, this deal over here, but looks fairly fun. And off we go. Yeah, it does look I know. I think it's because the mountains were just so high up and whatnot. They were nice and cool. This whole area, it looks like it would be very pleasant to just, you know, sit on like a park bench and enjoy the day here. Well, we're about to have some issues, sir. Yep, hurry up. I'm not slowing for long. Yeah, he's got some sort of tank thing. That's what I want to do at some point, is some sort of tank thing. I don't think we've really hauled a tank. Powerline State Park. Sounds fun. Oh, whole bunch of car sales. And back into the mountain. It's 124.42 to Vernal, which is our destination. Oops, that's not the road. So we may yet experience a little bit of authentic mountain climbing. I don't know, it's not being too difficult. There's a train. That's fun looking. Very short though. Oh no, there's the tracks. It looked like it was just flowing down that river for a bit. Oh. We're slowing down for it. That's always good. Still don't know what would happen. I assume you will get hit by a train and bounced around in a comedic and dramatic physicsy fashion, if you were to be in the way of one. I don't know. I hope it's not some... Oh, they had a bad day. I'd hope it's not something where either the train just like stops on a dime for you, or it just doesn't let you. Like, well before the gate stops, it calculates and says, nope, you're gonna be, just develops like a solid wall you can't drive through as soon as it determines a train is near. Don't know. Maybe that's something to test afterward. Just find a train track and sit on it for a while. See if a train appears. This looks like a lovely spot. Where are we? Got a river. Ooh, that's a fun thing. Don't know why the police are angry. Probably because I was going over the speed limit. Now I'm going 10 miles an hour, so that's what they get. Okay, Vernal ahead, Bags to the right, and I can't go to Bags. This is fun too. There's the Colorado State Patrol. Which I don't remember. Didn't really see many police officers. Can't remember what they looked like. I don't think they drove those though. Could have. Yeah, 30, so I was probably going like 35, and that's an unforgivable offense. As the sun sets. Meeker? could go to Meeker if I wished. Yeah, this is kind of an... with the God rays coming through. This little... should have maybe hit a gear. Perfect. Oh, kind of a nice shot. House up on the hill. Very nice rolling countryside. Oh. Speaking of the sun going down, I'm apparently tired. We'll see. Hopefully I can make it to my destination on time. I don't quite know where I am, but the that Steamboat Springs place was not too far from the border on the map. So I would assume I'm getting close. Then if I recall, it was pretty simple to just kind of... it was this road, I just stay on it, and then my destination's on my left, so... A fun spot. The light coming over those hills, I betcha. Let's... oh, there's a rest. I should have probably taken that rest area. Because, yeah, that's not too impressive and I'm holding up traffic. Ah, well. We've already gotten photos, we don't need more photos. We'll power through the night. The Yampa River, I believe is what that said. Hard to know. We've made it to almost 50 miles an hour. In fact, we're a little over. Ah, the speed limit through this is 40. Well, we can do that. Ooh, lovely old diner. Looks abandoned though. Okay, and I don't go right, so... because I cannot. 70 to Vernal. I hear you, me. A little tired, but... I think we should be able to make it. Oh, my headlights are on. I think they are. Aha. We've now upshifted. Fuel is looking a little bit on the not much of its side. We may want to find the next place for fuel and sleeping and do those things there. It's also a bad idea to get stuck in traffic. Road work. Left lane closed ahead. Well, that shouldn't be an issue because we're in the right lane. Unless there's only one lane. We just let them know I'm displeased with their situation. We're just sitting here? Is this the I mean, it's a dumpy truck. Could this be the construction? There's a truck. See, it's times like this I wish I could lean out of a window without looking behind me, because I might be able to tell what's happening. Okay. Oh, it's one of those with a signal light. Okay. That should be good so long as we don't just dawdle needlessly. Come on, keep her moving. Come, you can do it. And of course it stops right when I'm there. Come on. Okay. We've made it through. We still have some fuel, so that's good. I don't want a repeat of last episode where we kept... I guess we only ran out of gas once. It was just then difficult to find more gasoline. There's a nice windmill. Okay. All is looking okay. Given how distances tend to work in this game, we probably aren't that far off, actually. From Vernal, I think it was? Veneral? I don't remember. So they should have fuel, rest, and most importantly, I can get rid of the cargo. Well, in fact, here's something. That's a road. It's very dark here, and unfortunately I don't remember how to turn my high beams on. There's gas and sleep. Yeah, I should probably take it. We might be close to in town, in which case my destination is probably just up ahead on the left. But it could also not be that way, in which case I don't really want to risk it. Okay. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. That please. Okay. Fuel. Yes. Delicious fuel. 489. I think that's what it was at the last place, but I can't remember. Okay. Now. Sleeping, I bet, is around back. So let's go take a peek. Yeah, this looks like a good spot to nap. Whoops. Well, that's not ideal. Let's go this way. I forgot the whole trailer thing. Gotta make wide turns. We'll pull our little... Oh! Okay, we can just sleep in this gravel lot. They won't care. Ah, in the morning again. Okay. Perfect. So. Can I get out? Yeah, it looks like I can get out over here. Now, there's a good chance that our end goal is like 20 more feet from us. In which case, that was maybe a waste of time and I could have come back and done this later. But, okay, I can make that. Excuse me. There's also a decent chance that it's much further away and that we made the right call. And it looks like we may have, so 24 seems like a fair way away. Oh yeah, we weren't even at the border. Welcome to Utah, land of dinosaurs and irony. Well, this is a unique looking place. I guess it looks somewhat similar to the mountainous lands of Colorado. And kind of a lot more flat, bluffy bits. Ah, and the Green River, which looks distinctly brown. Yeah. That looks lovely. It should be... Keep an eye out. It could be any time up here on our left will be where we need to go. Because I think it was outside of town, it looked like just before you got there. So probably not this, whoops, fuel stop, but oh no, okay, we found Vernal. And I see it on the scopes. So it wasn't too far away, but far enough that it was probably good we stopped. I don't think we were that tight on time. Yeah, it's the Vernal. A lovely town. Looks like... No, not that. Okay, so it looks like I'd make this left, and then it's like an immediate left after that. Ooh. Which, this looks somewhat iffy. Is that a giant pink dinosaur? I think it may be. Oh boy. See, this is the type of place that would really benefit from a stoplight. Now, don't you get any ideas? Maybe if I just inch forward, one of them will take pity. Like him. Haha! Oh, I think it may have been for the yellow. Thank you, yellow. I'll try not to hit you with my truck. Okay. And now... in this? Maybe? Yes, but probably could have done that a better way. Here, I'll be back. You wait there. I betcha I can go up this way, turn myself around. Yeah, like in there. And then come at this from a more useful direction. Okay. Now I do all this and it'll turn out it would have been better if I just backed straight in, but you never know. And now I know this is here, so if I... Oops. If it is better to back straight in, I wish someone would move that forklift. That's in a bad spot. I wish I would turn the right direction. Okay. There we go. That brick wall is used to it, I'm sure. And I'm sure this security officer did not just witness that whole fiasco. Hello, where do you need it? He doesn't look too happy about his day. Alright, backing in first would have maybe been useful. I think I can make this work. So if I swing it out this way... Unfortunate that I have to put it right next to this very large digger. I guess maybe these guys are heavy equipment sale or rental type folk, and that's why the heavy equipment is here. Okay. Now, we use our window, which we thankfully still have. I guess it could be nice to put a sleeping area back here, but the window's just so darn useful. I mean, it would have been such a pain to figure that out. Using just the mirrors and looking, it may have been more entertaining. And that might be a good excuse to get a back thing. Oop, I should maybe straighten out first. Okay. There we go. They are not picky. And perfect. Late? Okay, maybe I shouldn't have slept. Does it say how... Was I late by 7 hours? That could explain. Maybe it was a rush job, so I was supposed to go there straight before sleeping. I could have done it, but... Yeah, well. It's not horrible, I guess. It's $2,000 for that. Okay. Well. That should be fine at least. So yeah, that's a dramatic photo with the lighting. Yeah. So here we are now in Utah. Technically speaking, this is the last state to be in. I guess. I'll pull up just so we can have the map for reference. Yeah, so I guess in the coming episodes, I'll try and cut through. I guess I just continue on this to Salt Lake City. Check that out. Zoom in too closely. And then we cut up back through Idaho. Maybe ideally up this way through the pointy bit. And then back through to Seattle and we're done. So that's pretty exciting. We are very near the end. I would guess from here, I don't know what freight there will be available, but I'd guess we could get in here or possibly all the way up to like Pocatello in Idaho. So that'll be next episode. Then the episode after that, we could probably get up to the point or just over. It kind of depends on what's available. But I think we can get, so 1 episode, 2 episodes to be here, and then 1 final episode to finish it off. I think we can do that. So that's pretty exciting. And something to look forward to. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to check out any of the other stuff I've done. And until next week, bye bye.